Does a great job of tapping into the heart and humanity that you're supposed to feel during the holidays. That it is, goodwill towards men. It is about remembering priorities, and certainly for the folks that are looking for forgiveness, offering them those second chances.
Cool place.
Welcome to the North Pole.
Come again?
Last night, Red One, also known as St. Nicholas of Myra, was abducted.
Are you saying Santa Claus has been kidnapped?
Hi guys, it's so good to be here with all of you. Congratulations for Red One. This is that kind of movie that we're looking for during the holiday season, right? And what I wanted to know from you, Chris and The Rock, is how did you guys manage to balance the action aspect of the movie and the whole holiday vibe while bringing Red One to life?
I mean, that's a good question. Luckily, it's not only me that has to figure that out. We have a whole team of people who are trying to crack that code. I think it actually provides a lot of fun. There's such great Christmas lore, folklore, not just the stories we all grew up with, but internationally. You know what I mean? When you hear some of these creatures and stories and mythology, it almost begs for some sort of action adventure movie. So it's not quite as hard as you think.
I agree. I also feel that it all really starts with the material, of course, coming out of Hiram's brain, and then Chris Morgan cracking it, and Jake coming in and cracking it and putting it together on the page. So the material itself, I think, lent itself to big action scale, which you typically don't see in Christmas movies. Creating the definitive Santa Claus, all of these actors who obviously all incredibly talented came in, loving Christmas, but actually everyone being the perfect actor for that particular role. And then on top of all that, I think you sprinkle in something that Jake inherently does in his films. I've had the privilege of working with him now 3 times on the first 2 Jumanji movies, and now Red One is heart. And there's so much heart in this movie. Like that's often an overstatement, I think, in storytelling in Hollywood, but it's true. It's something like this. I think the idea, and it's one of my favorite parts of the movie, where JK as Santa Claus reminds me that it's our job to see the best in people and look at that child, look beyond if they're on the naughty list, like this guy, look beyond it and look at the kid in everybody. So, as Chris was saying, it really wasn't that hard.
And Lucy, it's so good to see you here playing Zoe, this character that has so much physicality to her. We were used to seeing you doing these kinds of characters in the past. We saw you doing that in Kill Bill, especially in Charlie's Angels, which is like one of my favorite franchises when I was a teen. So tell me, how does it feel for you to be back in that sort of character that has that kind of physicality? And how was your preparation for Zoe?
It was impromptu. I had spoken to Jake, and he's like, I said, is there any training, or do you need me to like prep anything? And he said, no, I think maybe she's gonna like throw a kick and maybe a punch. Maybe that's it. You're just the boss lady, and that's all it's gonna be. And I said, okay, great, no problem. I show up to the set, we're doing the costume fittings and everything, and then the stunt coordinator comes in and he says, I just want to give you a little bit of a previs of what we're gonna do. He shows me this like entire action scene, and I'm like, my face just turned white. And then I was like, okay, let's do this. And as soon as I got the sticks in my hands, it was like muscle memory kicked in. And it was like I was alive again. So actually, thank you for that. I hadn't done it in a long time, but it just came back to me. And I love watching action movies. I grew up watching them, and it actually being on the screen doing action is so exciting. And I think that it gets kids excited, it gets girls excited, it gets women excited. So, it's nice that you still got it.
So, Chris, I have a specific question for you. Your character goes from being bad to good during the whole process of Red One. Would you say that he's some sort of a model that everybody deserves a second chance?
Really, really nice. I'm going to steal that for the rest of press. That's lovely. Yeah, I think he kind of represents the motto, we all deserve no. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I think at the heart of any good Christmas story, that's going to be a ribbon that seams through that you see throughout the plot. But that's what this movie does a great job of, tapping into the heart and humanity that you're supposed to feel during the holidays. That it is, goodwill towards men. It is about remembering priorities, and certainly for the folks that are looking for forgiveness, offering them those second chances.
I love that Christmas movies tend to become an annual tradition between family members. And Red One has that kind of feel that it's gonna become some sort of tradition during the holiday season among a lot of people around the world. I wanted to know from you guys, what is the number one tradition that you have during Christmas season?
Just getting family together would be our number one greatest family tradition. And I know it's simplistic, but you know, a lot of times when I was growing up, my dad was always on the road and he wasn't always home for Christmas. And in the business that we're in, sometimes it requires us to work over the holidays. So for me, just to have the entire family together, that's the most important thing. Good shit under the tree. Like I want the good gifts.
Toys.
Give me the stuff. Yes.
We would write letters to Santa on Christmas Eve, but I was saying earlier that I'm one of four, and my siblings and I are all very close in age, close as people. But on Christmas Eve, we would all decide whose room are we going to sleep in. We would have a little sleepover in somebody's room. You know, the old TV that had the VCR. That was always the fun thing, picking the movie and then going upstairs and just trying desperately to fall asleep, but then getting all to wake up together at the same time.
I have a child now, and I realize that you can start your own traditions. You can create them. And, I give him a gift, of course. He gets gifts. But the most, important thing now is I always take him on an experience as a gift. And I think just learning that being together and doing something together, even if it's simple, like going to the Empire State Building or going to see the Rockettes, something like that. I didn't think he would really remember because kids really want things, But he said to me, last year, he said, "Oh, remember when we went to the Empire State Building for that experience that you gave me?" And it really made me feel like, oh, this really works. It's like when you try to teach sign language to babies, you're like, do you want more? And it just never works. And then one day, out of nowhere, they just do this, and you're like, whoa, the light bulb went off. So to me, Christmas is about togetherness. I mean, not unlike what these guys said, but also even if you didn't grow up with a tradition or with a faith, that you can create that, wherever you are and at any moment in your life.
Things are about to get real. Cover us.